In order to test his girlfriend's loyalty, the man asked her to put her hand on the flame. Girlfriend obediently did not dare to move. The man was satisfied to go to answer a phone call, results in playing, forgetting that his girlfriend is still being roasted when he turned back to see his girlfriend's entire arm has been set on fire. But the man was overjoyed that his newest girlfriend robot could do anything he wanted. It turns out that the woman is not human, but the boyfriend spent 18 million dowry to buy a robot. She not only has the touch of a real human being, but also for you to do the laundry and cooking to meet any requirements. As long as you turn on the machine and shake your head and open your mouth to her retina, the robot will automatically create a memory of falling in love with you. With such a perfect girlfriend, Matt couldn't help but show off at his friend's party. The two of them set off for the villa and Amy realizes something strange. The navigation doesn't even show the way to the villa. Matt thought it was probably a private area so they wouldn't be able to navigate it, so they didn't pay much attention to it. When they got to the door, Amy suddenly stopped in her tracks, hesitant and afraid that her party friends wouldn't like her, so she didn't realize she was just a robot and was trying to get along with her boyfriend's friends too. After Matt's reassurance, Amy finally gained confidence and went with him into the villa, where the friends were very welcoming and seemed very friendly. Paul, the owner of the villa, was pleasantly surprised, not realizing that Matt had found such a perfect girlfriend. However, Amy, who was very perceptive, seemed to see a hint of greed in his eyes. In the evening they played music and danced and drank together, not realizing that a terrible conspiracy was unfolding in the midst of all the fun. The next day they all agreed to go to the lake to sunbathe, but when they were all ready, Matt said he had something to do and asked Amy to go to the beach on her own, which she agreed to do. But when Amy arrived at the lake and took off her shoes, she was surprised to find that no one was there except Paul, which made her feel a little uncomfortable. But after all, Paul was the owner of the villa. She could not leave without giving face, so she sat down on the chaise lounge next to him. As soon as Amy sat down, Paul pulled out a bottle of sunscreen and handed it to Amy to help her apply it to her back. Amy had no choice but to help, but as she did so, Paul just stopped pretending and said that it was Matt's idea for the two of them to be alone, and that Matt had promised to lend Amy to him for the day. When she came back to the villa covered in blood, everyone was dumbfounded. Normally, robots are programmed never to harm humans. Matt quickly shut Amy down and tied up the crazy machine. When the computer was turned on again, Amy was so emotional that Matt had to tell her the truth that she was a robot. After learning the truth, Amy was very calm and didn't mind being a robot because she just wanted to live with Matt like before. At this moment, Paul's girlfriend came over and called Matt away. So what happened just now was all their plan. They opened Paul's safe and there was $12 million in cash in it, which could be shared equally by all the people present. The reason Amy was able to break through the harm limit was because Matt used hacking software to modify her internal program. All they had to do was restore everything and pin the blame on the robot. Now they've called the police and they're just waiting for them to arrive. What no one realized was that Amy, who was in the living room, had also heard the conversation by amplifying the sound, and she had managed to untie herself by putting her chair down and picking up the knife from under the table. She escaped to the woods and even took Matt's cell phone, because by turning on the program that controls her, she could pull her IQ up to 100% and start a comeback.